Most High God, Yahweh, that would be in the Heavenly Father, that the world most likely, that the world calls God. And to his son, Yahweh Shai, that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? So brothers and sisters can see it from the topic of the video what we're going to be touching on. It says, make no tarry to follow the Lord before it's too late. Right? Because brothers and sisters can be tarrying, man, and it's truth. Right? It could be brothers and sisters, that knows about the truth. Right? That calls themselves an Israelite. Right? But they're tarrying. They're not taking that step to commit themselves unto the Lord. Right? So I just want to get a couple precepts going into that, tarrying, getting a couple accounts, or again, account of our forefathers just following the Lord, man, right? Not even worrying about the things of this life, because that's what's holding a lot of our brothers and sisters back in this truth, right? Is holding them back. Something's holding them back in this world, right? You can't let nothing in this world hold you back for following the Lord, right? Because ultimately, now you're holding the whole nation up, right? You could be the 144. You could be the elect, and you holding up the whole nation because you can't let go of this life. You can't let go of that woman that's evil and wicked for yourself, brother. Right? Sister can't let go of this so-called career that she's trying to make for herself, that is not benefiting the Lord but benefiting yourself in this life. Right? You got family members in this world that don't want you to follow this truth, and you're following after them, ultimately making them your God. You're making these things of your life your God, right? We have to let these things go, because ultimately, at the end, all of these things are going to perish. It's going to be up to you if you're going to stand on that side where the righteous is going to be, or you're going to be on the other side where the wicked is going to be, right? So I just want to get a couple precepts on that. I'm touching on that. Right. So lucky. Alright, let's go to Sirach. Alright. Let's go to Sirach chapter 5. This is Sirach chapter 5. And I'm gonna start at verse 7. Right? It says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put off not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord cometh forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Right, so we gotta turn from tarrying now and turn back to the Lord. Right, we gotta stop tarrying and waiting and taking forever and taking long to follow after the Lord, to put off those things day to day that's keeping you away from the Lord, that's separating you, and that's holding you up from following after the Lord, following after the Most High God. Right, we have to stop doing this. Right, especially in this month that we're in right now, the 7th month. Right, we should be doing all we can do right now. We should be putting in a lot more work. We should be, fasting more, praying more, doing all the things of the Lord, especially within this month, right? Especially for brothers and sisters that's just coming into this truth, right? Don't let these things of this world hold you back, right? Don't start tarrying, man. We are so close to the end. You don't want to start tarrying, right? And for some brothers and sisters that are tarrying, you got to stop right now. You have to, right? Let's get an account real quick of our forefathers, right? Following the Lord instantly, man, right? They didn't have nothing holding them back, right? Let's get Mark. This is Mark chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse I'm going to start at verse 16, right? And it says, Now, as he walked by the sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and Andrew, his brother, casting a net in the sea, for they were fishers. And Yahushua said unto them, Come ye after me, and I will make you to become fishers of men. And straightway they forsook their nets and followed him. Right? They didn't take, no thought. They didn't take no thought to what he said. I mean, they didn't take no thought in anything else in their life. Soon as the Lord said, let's go, I'm going to make you fishers of men, right? They dropped everything, man. They dropped everything and followed the Lord. So those are forefathers that you want to take after, right? You want Salaki. How can I say it? You wanna look at them as an example, right? You want to look at them as an example to not tarry, to not let anything in this life, hold you back from following the Lord. Because when we out there, when we teaching brothers and sisters, man, when brothers come up, when brothers be coming up, man, they be saying, yeah, I know I'm an Israelite. Yeah, I know we supposed to keep the laws, commandments. Yeah. For sure. But what's holding you back? That's the number one question that we always ask brothers and sisters. What is holding you back? They say myself, my job, my family, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta make this money, those are the certain things that can be holding brothers and sisters back. But when you looked at the disciples, right, they didn't think about nothing. They didn't think about, what about the fish that we're casting from, our father and stuff like that. We out here, we helping our father's business. We can't just leave him out. They put that net down and followed the Lord, man. They put that net and followed the Lord, man. They didn't think about this life. They didn't think about their life. They didn't think about their family. They only thought about following the Lord. So that's the example you have to follow. That's the example you should follow, right? Now this is the example you don't want to follow. All right, let's get Luke, right? Because it's a lot of brothers and sisters that's like this too, right? This is Luke chapter 9 and start at verse 59, right? And it reads, He said unto another, Follow me, right? But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. And guess what Yahushua said? Yahushua said unto him, Let the dead bury the dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of Yahweh. Right? So let the dead bury the dead, man. Let your family and so forth. That's your family. Let your family that's in the world stay in the world. If they're not following after the Lord, it is where it is. You got to put all those things behind you. You got to put your family behind you. That's if they're not following after the Lord. You got to put all these things that is hindering you from following the Lord behind you. You have to. Because ultimately now you're going to start tarrying. Now you're going to want to, I got to do this. I got to do that. Wait, please, Lord, give me 1 second. Let me just do this for... No. Now, we know sometimes even with brothers and sisters, it take time for brothers and sisters to come into the truth too, right? Fully, right? It took me some time. I didn't jump head first, but as soon as I heard about this truth, I knew it was true. And, I had to, learn. I had to study. I had to do this, the third, to show myself approved, to show and prove that I know this truth is the truth, man, within me, right? Now, there's a lot of brothers and sisters that feel like they know that they're Israelites, and they know our people are the real Israelites, but they're tarrying to follow after the Lord because they're letting the things of their life hold them back, right? Let's read on. And it says, and another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. Right? And now you trying to hold up the Lord, man. You're holding up the Lord. You said, Lord, please give me 1 second. I got to do this one thing. If you can just wait here for a couple hours, maybe a couple days, couple weeks, couple months, couple years, I'll be right back. And it'd be a lot of people. It's a lot of elders that will be teaching. They'll be like, yeah, I know about I've been knew about this truth. Yeah, I know we was the Israelites. And we'll ask the elder, how long you knew about this? I knew about this for like about 10, 15 years. 10, 15 years. Brother, what are you doing? How did you knew about this truth for 10, 15 years and you have done nothing about it? You've been tarrying this whole time. Not committing yourself, Salaki. I'm there at my job, and I'm there like an airport and all that. But you're taking all this time, you're taking all this time and holding back. And the whole time you could be the one that's holding us back from us going back home. You got to think about that too. Whatever brother and sister that's watching this, right, and that's tarrying, that you know you're tarrying, right? Think about that, right? Think about that you are holding the whole nation back. You could be holding the whole nation back right now from going home because you didn't want to put your first step. You didn't want to put that step in, man. You didn't want to step, right? Coming out there to step fully in the Lord. Because you got 1 foot out and 1 foot in. You got to have both feet in if you're going to be in this truth, man. Right? Let's keep reading. Verse 62. And Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. And ultimately, you're not going to be fit for the kingdom of the Most High if you're putting your hand to the plow, but still looking back at the same time saying, I still got some things I have to do. No. If you're going to put your hand to the plow, you got to do it fully, man. As it says in Ecclesiastes, man, you got to... Actually, let me get this real quick. Get this in Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10. It's like chapter 9 and verse 10. It says, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. So whatever you put your hand to, do it with thy might. Do it all thy might, man. If you're gonna put your hand to the plow, don't half-ass do it because you're still thinking about the things in the world, man, and your family, and the things that you can do for your family and make this money and do this, that, the third. None of those things are gonna benefit you. It's not gonna benefit you from, make it to the kingdom, man. Right? Yeah, you gotta take care of your family. Yeah, you gotta do this, that, the third. But are you gonna put that above the Most High God? Is that going to be your first priority? Your first priority is getting yourself right and fully committing yourself into this truth, man. That should be your first priority, man. And then everything else comes along. Everything else comes along after that. I had to learn that, myself coming into this truth, man. I'll give it a quick testimony. When I came into this truth, I didn't really have anything. I'm be honest with you. I really didn't have anything. I had my car. I didn't have, my family that I have now, and I just heard about the truth. And, I just start reading the Bible, right? But I had my wife, and my wife was still in the world. So it was certain things that was kind of holding me back from trying to fully commit myself. But soon as I, realized that something was holding me back, I had to put it behind me. Instantly, I had to put it behind me. It took me some time to realize. I'm not going to say instantly. It took me some time to realize that this one thing can hold me back from serving the Lord. This one thing can hold me back from serving the Lord. I'm gonna say it. It was my wife. She wasn't in the truth yet. She wasn't in the truth yet, and I was in the truth first, right? And it was kind of holding me back because it was certain things that she wanted to do I couldn't do, right? So what I had to do was put her behind me, right, and focus on the Lord. And then as soon as she came and fully came into this truth and believed in the Lord, then we fully came together as one in the Lord, man. Right? I didn't put her away, right? But I just had to leave her alone to prove myself unto the Most High God that I really want to serve him and not put nothing above him. And that's what you got to do in these last days too. That goes for your wife that's in the world. That goes for your family that's within the world. Your children, your mother, your father, your brother. It doesn't matter. Whatever is in this world that want to hold you back and is making you tarry, you got to put it behind you. If they want to come along following this truth, all praise the Most High God. But if they're not, then it is what it is. Right? I know some brothers and sisters don't want to hear that, but you got to hear it. You have to hear that. Because ultimately, the people that's in this truth is your family. Even Yahushua said that when his mother and his brother was calling on him, the multitude said, your mother and father is calling you. He said, I don't see them. But then he looked around at them and he said, this is my mother, this is my brother, this is my sister. Right? The people that's within this truth is your family. The ones that's going to be with you when you miscarry, man. When you fall low. Right? When you read in Sirach 37 and verse 17. Right? When you fall low and then you got somebody to help pick you up and remind you to keep these commandments. Right? Don't let none of these things hold you back. Right? Especially riches. Right? I wanted to get this precept too on people that, that worry about riches and want to be rich and so forth. Because people that's rich, or that has a good amount of wealth, they're not gonna make it because they're not gonna really worry about the kingdom. They're gonna worry about their riches. They're not gonna really feel afflicted. They're not gonna do nada, right? This is Matthew chapter 19. I'm gonna start at verse 23. Right? It says, then said Yahushua unto his disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter in the kingdom of Yahweh. Right? Or it's like the kingdom of heaven. So it's gonna be hard for a rich man to make it into the kingdom. Because he's not gonna really be afflicted. He's not gonna be really needing the Lord because he has his riches. He relies on his riches. Any problem that comes about, he has his riches to, get him along. Back then our forefathers had cattle, had land, that was their wealth. Right? So they had a lot of wealth back then. Right? But now you have brothers that, have money and stuff like that, have certain jobs, have real good jobs, high paying jobs, right? They might start leaning back because they feel too comfortable with the money and stuff that they're making that they feel like slacking. Let this plane go by. Salaki for that. Yeah, let it go by a little more. Like I was saying, brothers that might be in this truth, or brothers that's, trying to come to this truth, that may have a little bit of money and stuff like that, high paying jobs and, all that. It might be making them tarry a little bit, or make it a little hard for them to actually, fully follow after the Lord, or if they are in the truth, really rely on the Lord, because they're not gonna really want to rely or have trust or have faith in the Lord, because they have their riches, right? Let's keep reading on. And it says, and again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter in the kingdom of Yahweh, right? So that's crazy, right? Said a camel is much more easier for a camel to walk through the needle of an eye than a rich man to enter into the kingdom. Gotta think about that, man. So don't put these riches above the Lord, right? Do what you gotta do, to be sustained in this world. Don't abuse this world, but, use this world, but don't abuse the world, right? Roughly paraphrasing, right? Do what you gotta do to help sustain you and your family in this world, in this life right now. But don't put those riches far above, because now you making this money and you can't stop. Now you got all this money and stuff like that. Now you're not relying too much on the Lord no more. You're putting your trust and faith in the riches that you have, right? Actually, I'm gonna get this next precept. I'm gonna get to some Proverbs, right? Get to some Proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 11. Chapter 11 and verse 4, right? Classic. It says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death, right? So riches is not going to profit you in that day when wrath comes, right? So don't worry about too much of riches either, right? Because if you worry about too much riches, then you're going to suddenly, you're going to be destroyed, right? You're going to be destroying yourself with the inside and destroying yourself on the outside, right? So don't worry about that. Worry about the righteousness, keeping these commandments, following the Lord, not tarrying to do these things of the Lord, and so forth, right? I'm going to get my ending precepts, and then I'm going to close out. Right? All praise on Most High God. All praise to the Most High God. Salaki, too, for the noise. I'm still at the plantation. I'm just getting off, so Salaki for all the noise. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Right? So we always got to continue to be steadfast, unmovable in this truth. Right? We cannot let nothing shake us in these last days, man. Not our family, not our jobs, not the money, not nothing, not no women, not no nothing, man. You cannot let these things shake you in these last days, man. We're living in the end. We literally at the end, man. We're literally at the end. It's so crazy, because I'll be thinking about this, a lot. Like, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be in this truth. It's a blessing that the Lord called upon you to be in this truth, brother or sister, right? To literally see this society, this empire, this place to literally fall. And a lot of our forefathers literally wanted to see these things happen because they prophesied about it. But we are living in the times of the end. So we have to stop playing in these last days. We have to stop tarrying. We have to stop doing these things so we can follow after the Lord and make it back home. All right? Let's get Revelation. Revelation chapter 22, I'm going to start at verse 12. And it reads, it says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. Right? So the Lord has a reward, man. He has a reward to give unto the righteous, and he has a reward to give unto the wicked. Right? And we know what that reward of the righteous is going to be. Everlasting life. Right? Never have to worry about bills. Never have to worry about, being tired all the time. Right? Worrying about if I have enough. Right? Or this, that, no. You will never have to worry about that. That is going to be the reward according to the works that shall be. That's you not tarrying. That's you keeping the commandments. That's you being faithful unto the Lord. Right? And then the reward unto the wicked. That's for the people that want to continue to tarry. Right? That just couldn't let go of this life. That couldn't let this life, they let this life dictate who they was going to be. Right? If they was going to be a servant of the Lord, or if they wasn't. Right? They let this life hold them back. That's going to be the reward of the wicked. That's going to be destroyed. Right? That's going to be burnt up with these dang nations. Right? Reading on. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Right? And that is the 12 gates that's set up for the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Right? There's no gate for the so-called white man. There's no gate for the so-called Chinese man. There's no gate for the Arab man. It's definitely no gate for the so-called East Indian man. Right? So with that, I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh B'Shem HaMashiach Yahushai. Right? Most High willing that this video was edifying to brothers and sisters. Right? And I would say it again, Salaki, for all the noise in the background and so forth. Most High willing brothers and sisters was able to hear me clearly and so forth. Right? So with that, call me a Shalom Israel.